One of the most frustrating things as a trader, especially a new trader, is when you're putting in your levels, you're putting in your areas that you're marking off on your chart that you want to trade off of, and the market just absolutely disregards, it ignores those levels you were looking to trade off of, especially when you were trading off of them 1 week. Maybe you set up a process or system around whatever it is you're trading off of, and it works 1 week. Maybe it works 2 weeks in a row. Maybe it works that month, and then the next month, you're not getting the same results. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can find effective levels that you can trade off of, not only trade off of them, but rely on them week in, week out, month in, month out. Now, these levels aren't going to tell you whether you should just be getting long or getting short, but what I'm going to do in today's session is show you how you can find levels that the market is going to respond to in some manner. It'll give us a great risk to reward to trade off of, and it'll make a lot more sense as we head deeper into these series of videos. So if you haven't already watched the previous video we released last week about volume profile, make sure you go back and watch that one, because this video is going to be a building block off of that video. And moving forward, each of these videos is going to be a building block off of each other as we head into these series of videos. Sunday night, we do a Sunday night overview where we break down our expectations for the week. We break down the levels we're going to be looking out for the week. So it's no hindsight type of levels. And we use these levels throughout the week, and we're able to trade off of them. So shout out to Marcus executing really well, trading off of these levels. But this is what this was looking like Sunday night. And you can see already how price was responding to these levels that were put in Sunday night. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can find these effective levels to trade off of, and we'll start on a blank canvas. So we'll go ahead and jump over here. Let me just change a couple settings real quick. Let me take off the volume profile. Let me change this to the hourly chart. So it doesn't matter what time frame you're on when you do this, because it's still going to take data from where you want to take data from. And it's going to make more sense as you see me do it here. So I could have done this on the 5-minute, but if I go over here, I go to my settings, I turn on the volume profile, I put it on week. These are my personal settings. This is why I found it to be most effective whenever I'm trading in real time. I've tried a bunch of different stuff. I've taken the value area from the last month, the last 2 months, the last 3. I've tried everything, and I personally think that the previous week is most effective. So try it out. Let me know what you think. And that's where I like to gauge my expectations for the week off of, right? So these aren't setups in itself, but it helps you build setups around these levels. So the first thing I'm going to do is mark off the high volume node areas, right? We have a high volume node over here. And one thing I want to point out is this week we do have a triple distribution. We don't always have a triple distribution. It takes a little bit more experience to work with. I like triple distributions because they provide really unique opportunities. One thing I'm going to point out is what the volume profile was looking like last week, just to give you a little bit more perspective on how the distribution of volume will look different week to week. So this is what it was looking like last week. And all we would do if we were marking this out is mark off this main value area in the volume profile. So week to week, it's going to look different, but this week offered a triple distribution. So I'm kind of throwing you in the deep end. I think more of a beginner way to go about this would be to find a single distribution like last week. But this week we have a triple distribution. So you'll understand sometimes you'll get a double distribution. Sometimes you get a triple distribution. All matters on how the previous week played out. But what we're going to do is we're going to mark off our high volume node areas. So I'm going to mark this off. I'm going to mark this off right here. I'm going to take this high volume node area, and then I'm also going to mark off this level right here. So these are the levels that I'm paying attention to in the week, and every single night I give a breakdown on exactly what I'm looking at. And we even talked about how the middle high volume node area is going to set the tone for the week. And whenever you're trading a triple distribution, you'll recognize that that middle distribution really does set the tone for the week. But one thing I just want to point out is we're going to go over here. We're going to go to the replay setting. I use Exo charts. If you have Exo charts, there's a few popular order flow footprint chart softwares, but the replay feature is extremely helpful whenever you do want to back test. So what we're going to do right now is just show how price played out, during the week. And this is what price was looking like Sunday night. So just keep that in mind. And we're going to go ahead and press play. We're not going to talk about strategies right now and different processes that you can build around this. But the one thing you do want to understand as I continue this, this recording is If you haven't watched the volume profile video, go ahead to my last video that I posted on the channel and check that out. This will make a little bit more sense. But one thing we talked about in there is that most of the trading activity is going to occur within the high volume node areas and the main value area. So this helps you gauge your expectations for the week to see what type of price behavior you can expect, right? So this is a high volume node area, meaning we're going to get more, range bound price behavior in here because it's a thicker market, which it makes sense. And in our low volume node areas, we're gonna get quicker moves directionally because it's a thinner market. So when we break it down logically like that, it makes a lot more sense. But let's go ahead and see how price played out here. Whoops, that went a little too quick. Let me slow this down real quick for us. But we're just gonna watch how price played out, right? Let me go back here. It's like a little back testing session we're kind of doing right now. Speed this up just a little bit more. And you can see, right, the areas where we have lower volume nodes, where it's a thinner market, price has the ability to trade through those areas in more of a directional manner. Because those are the levels where price is heading into price discovery, or in the eyes of auction market theory, it would be called an imbalanced market, right? We have the balanced market in the high volume node areas, and we have more of an imbalanced market where if sellers get aggressive here, we could trade to the downside very aggressively. So that's one thing we want to point out. That's how you can gauge expectations. If you start to see price acceptance outside the value area low, price has the ability or the potential to find new value, which we came down to this next value area, and you can see that price is going to start consolidating as we move the time on this forward. So like we just talked about, this helps you gauge your expectations. It's not a coincidence that price sold off very straightforward and very aggressively through these areas. And it's not a surprise we started to see more of a range-bound market whenever we came within the value area, because now the market is finding new value, right? We call it an imbalance in the eyes of auction market theory, but the OG term for it is really just price discovery, right? Where price is always looking for an area where buyers and sellers are agreeing upon price. And until the market finds an area where buyers and sellers are agreeing upon price, that's called price discovery, because we're trying to discover the price that buyers and sellers are going to agree upon. And when that happens, we typically get a range-bound market. Excuse me. So let's go ahead, push this forward. Consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. So if you are trading through these high volume node areas, right, logically, it might make a little sense to start scaling out or taking off some of your position if you were short here, because, holding to see a move straight through the, high volume node area is kind of naive to do. I mean, it happens, but if we understand that this is based off statistics and how the market typically behaves, it's not very common. We just sell off straight through it. It happens. Trust me, it happens. But we want to trade the probabilities, not the anomalies. So let's go ahead and move this forward. And you can see, again, how we just head into a range-bound market. And then today, right, we got above this high volume node area here in the middle, right? And one thing I just want to point out quickly again is just how, we had a lot of sellers, in this high volume node area. And let's go ahead and press play and see how price played out here. We can see how price, very aggressively rejected the same level where we saw a lot of aggressive sellers hitting the bid today. But we'll break down those details in other videos. I just want to point out how using these high volume node areas or value areas, whatever you want to call them, can be very effective for trading. So again, if you're ever frustrated, you've put in levels that price is just disrespecting, ignoring, and not responding to, after you watch this video and you study it a few times and you start using volume profile to find your value areas, I think it's going to change the way that you view the market. It's going to change the way that you trade, and you're going to develop a lot more confidence within your trading as a whole. So just keep in mind, auction market theory is not a trading strategy in itself, right? It's the understanding of what moves the market and why the market moves. And then when we can see those market tendencies, like we can see here, we typically are a range-bound market in the value area, and we typically are heading in a trending market because it's thinner here, outside of the value areas, which would be, price discovery or an imbalance. Once you understand those market tendencies relative to to what auction market theory says, you will be able to start building a process or a trading system around the market tendencies. Because again, nothing is more annoying than trading for a week, things working out, trading for 2 weeks, things working out, maybe a month, things working out, and then the next week or the next month, what you were trading off of isn't working anymore, or the levels aren't being respected by the market anymore. So that's one of the most annoying things. So use volume profile because it's backed by data as well. It'll give you a little bit more confidence, and just focus on those things. So that's going to pretty much wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure you turn on post notifications so you don't miss any videos moving forward. If you didn't watch the previous volume profile video, make sure you do that, because everything we talk about moving forward on the channel is going to be built off of each video. So that's why I made the volume profile video first. If you do want a more exclusive community to hang out with other order flow traders and get educated on this with more condensed, concise information, live morning sessions, all those kind of things, you can go ahead and check out the first link down in the description. We have a school community, but that's going to wrap it up. I hope you got some value out of this video. No pun intended, but I hope you got some value out of this video. Thanks for taking the time to tune in, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.